Hey everyone, hope everyone is having a great day. This is Clayton Burgess with Your Ark Insurance Agency. I just wanted to hop on here and make our very first YouTube video. It's Casual Friday today, so we're all kind of just relaxing and getting ready for the weekend. It was a very good week for us, and so I just wanted to hop on here just to kind of introduce myself to you, also introduce you to our YouTube channel, which will be coming up with some content, anything and everything in regards to insurance. So hopefully you guys will enjoy the ride that we're on right now. It's an honor to just finally have our own independent insurance agency. As you may not know, some of the benefits of being an independent insurance agency, it allows us to find the right product that fits our customers' needs, right? So sometimes if you work for a big company, a lot of these companies are great, awesome companies. They can only sell their products, right? But with being independent and being an independent insurance, principal agent, I'm able to find multiple carriers that would fit a customer's needs. So that's number one. Number two, some more information about our agency. We're based out of Herndon, Virginia, which is about 20 miles outside of Washington, D.C. Our agency is licensed in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. And then through other partnerships and relationships that we have with some of the other carriers, we're able to write insurance more so on the property casualty side in various states. So we're able to write in New Jersey, New York, Texas, California. Don't hesitate to reach out to us to see if we're available in your state. We'd love to help you and love to work with you. So that's just one of the big advantage of being an independent insurance agency. I also have some notes here because I want to go into a different topic. Obviously, September, if you may not know, is Life Insurance Awareness Month. So I want to share some tips with you in regards to the importance of life insurance, because I feel like sometimes it's kind of like that awkward conversation that you might have with someone, and it never, I don't know, it's just kind of sometimes awkward to talk about, but it needs to be talked about a lot more. I don't know how many times you see situations where, a famous celebrity, unfortunately, they pass away and then they got to do a GoFundMe, or you might even have a friend or family member, right, that unfortunately passed away, and now you have to do a GoFundMe because they did not have a good life insurance policy, or they might not have one at all, right? And so before I go into that, like as I mentioned, some of the goals for the channel, we want to share everything and anything about insurance. If you're a local business in the DC area, we would love to connect with you. But even if you're not local, right, we'd still love to connect with you to talk about whether, there's ways that we can work with you or to find ways to help you out. Or even if you have questions about insurance, you need kind of a third, eye to look over something, or a third ear to check something, right? We can be here for that too as well. So let's get into actually talking about life insurance, right? I know it's not everyone's favorite topic, right? But it needs to be talked about. So I kind of try to simplify things as much as possible. So I have about 4 or 5 buckets, right? And so if you fit into one of these buckets, right, you really need to start thinking about, if you haven't already, coming up with a strategy for life insurance, right? Or even if you have life insurance right now already, what you need to do is maybe reassess it, right? So maybe you had a kid, or maybe you got married, or maybe your assets have increased, right? So, you need to start thinking about that protection for that what if situation, right? So obviously the first bucket I have, you really need to start thinking about life insurance if you are a parent, right? So if someone depends on you, right? If you got kids, right? You need to start thinking about leaving a legacy, leaving them in a good financial situation in the event that some, if tragedy strikes, and you need to make sure that your family is taken care of, right? So some of the benefits, obviously, by having a life insurance policy, it can help with expenses, it can maybe help with college. In addition to that, there's even mortgage protection. So for another example, there might be a situation where even if you don't have kids, right, let's say you don't have kids, it's just you and your spouse, and you bought a house, and the lender needed both of you on the loan in order to qualify for the mortgage, right? Well, God forbid if something happens to one of the spouses, that other spouse might not have the financial means to take care of the mortgage or to keep up with the daily expenses, right? So it's, really important that you start thinking about, of leaving a legacy and making sure that that loved one, whether you got kids or don't have kids, that they're left in a good situation, right? In addition to that, another one is, and a lot of people don't think about this one, but if you're a student, right? And you're thinking like, Clayton, what are you talking about? Like, a student, why does a student need life insurance, right? Well, check this out, right? So a lot of times when, students are going to school, they'll get what's called everyone's favorite thing, right? Student loans, right? And so a lot of times they'll get a student loan through like a private lender, like a Sally Mae or some of these other, student loan, institutions, right? Or banking institutions. And so a lot of times those lenders will require what? A co-signer, right? To sign on that loan. And so it might be a parent, it might be a dad, it might be an uncle, a brother, a sister, whomever, right? Well, if something happens to that student, right, and they're not able to pay on that loan, they might come after whoever co-signed on that loan, right? So now with federal loans, it's a little different because if the student does pass away, they do not come after you. But if you do a private loan, right, they can come after you, right? They can, probably maybe garnish wages or, put liens on and other things and mess up your credit and all that kind of stuff. So, you want to make sure that they're protected. If they went up to bat for you, you also need to make sure that you go up to bat for them. The next one, right, is entrepreneur, right? So let's say you have your business, right? And I know a lot of situations, in some situations where the business partner might be a husband or wife, right? And so if God forbid, if something happens and you were the breadwinner, you were the salesperson, right? You were out there meeting, greeting the customers and closing deals and making phone calls and doing all those things that it takes to run a business. And you were that go-to person and something happens to you, you want to make sure that they're able to still function, that they're able to still keep the lights on, that they're able to still keep the business running, right? So a life insurance policy can even help you even with your business, right? And so you want to make sure that your business partners, are still able to keep, feed their families and keep the business going, right? The next one is another big one. Now this kind of semi falls in line, as I mentioned earlier, with being a parent, but being a caretaker, right? So let's say, for instance, you're taking care of a sick grandma, maybe a family member that has special needs, right? They need to be in a facility or, they need special care and special attention, right? And so one of the things that you want to make sure, especially if you're the caretaker for that individual, or even if it's individuals, right? You want to make sure that they're in a good situation if God forbid something happens to you, right? So, it's very important that you think about what type of strategy or what type of legacy or what type of financial situation that I want to leave my loved ones and family in. So this is just a quick video. I didn't want it to be too long, but just to kind of get the wheels spinning about, making sure that, I'm set up. And like, as I mentioned earlier too, as well, you might already have a life insurance policy, which is great, right? But you might need to go back and reassess some things if your life situations have changed, right? Maybe you got a bigger house. Maybe you got, your business is expanding, right? So you might need to up the type of coverage that you currently have right now if you have more assets and more things that you need to kind of take care of, right? So that's all I have for you. I hope you've enjoyed the content that you heard today. I definitely have some more content coming too as well. Make sure that you also like, subscribe, do all that great stuff too as well. And then definitely follow us on our social media channels. That's another great way to engage with us and stay in contact. As I mentioned, I hope you've enjoyed everything. I hope everyone has a great weekend. I'm shooting this on a Friday, and I just hope that you enjoy us and hold on for the ride. Take care. Bye-bye.